We're joined today by Andy Tudor, Managing Director of Nexus Minerals. Andy, thanks for your time.
Yours too.
It's all about the Batanga project in Victoria. That's the starting asset that got you into that part of the world. Why that asset and why is it so interesting?
Yeah, look, I'm a porphyry copper hunter and have done for sort of 15 years in the Asia Pacific region, and part of Nexus's my remit with them is to, on top of the gold assets that have been strong within the company for the last 10 years, to actually assess and look for copper projects anywhere in the world. And they're not easy to come by, they're not easy to find. All starts with the right rocks. And again, good jurisdictions as well. And so that was where it all started. I was brought the project from a fellow porphyry copper knowledgeable gentleman who sort of recognised its potential and thought it needed to be in the hands of a listed company. So we purchased it off them, and I spent the last 2 years undertaking this porphyry fertility study, which we announced the results of a couple of weeks ago. Normally you'd expect 8 to 10 out of say 15 points that you try and tick off in this study, which is very complicated and highly scientific nature. And Batanga's to tick them all. They've all come up with green, from the geophysics, the geochemistry, rock, soil, alteration, mineralogy, everything that we're looking for in to give you that opportunity in a ground which has had no drill holes. Certainly nobody recognised the opportunity there for porphyry coppers, and that's where we think it's our advantage. And it really started with the fact that in this Batanga region they've been mining gold and particular copper. It was the largest copper producer in Victoria at the turn of the century, and yet the rocks that the copper was in don't make sense. You shouldn't have copper in these rocks. So that was what got the scientific brain starting to go, well, this doesn't make sense. There's something going on here. And we've delved right the way through petrology, hyperspectral work, and determined that the mineralogy of the rocks that we're seeing don't really suit the setting that they're in without some sort of a high-level intrusive porphyry body punching up underneath, and that's where we've got to at the end of the fertility study. Were
you surprised by the results?
Well, we were. You always along the way expect a few not so positive parts to a study. You'd expect that it might have failed one or two, or you think, well, look, it's interesting, but whereas this has been strong right the way through, and it's really sort of captivated us and our interest. And I suppose the final step of last week was getting approval from the local landholder to drill on his property, and Victoria has been a fantastic place to explore, and it's been very positive. The landholders in the Batanga district have been brilliant, and we've got permission to drill on his property, so it can be drilled on a low impact as long as you stay on existing tracks. The drill program is now well and truly planning underway. We're looking to do 6 kilometre deep holes, which is really what this project needs. I mean, there's no point messing around at the surface. It looks this good. Let's get in and make sure nothing can be hiding.
So the project brought you to Eastern Australia. Since then, and in recent times, you've done what's known as a mega peg. What does that actually mean, and why did you focus on this particular region in New South Wales?
Yeah, whilst we're actually working at Batanga, about an hour to the south of us, lithium and spodumene pegmatites were discovered, and a large dike swarm in 1819 were discovered and actually being drilled right now. And so we started looking and sitting down with a geochemist that we work with, this Dr. Dennis Arney, that's got 40 years geoscientific experience as well, works with us. And we said to him, look at the whole of the eastern seaboard of Australia, all the data sets. Let's try and see if we can find that we've got LCT pegmatites in this terrain. How far does that extend? What geological terrain is it sitting in? And it actually is sitting in this Wagga-Ormeo zone, which extends some 700 kilometres up into New South Wales. It's about 80 kilometres wide. And so we started looking at all of the positive attributes and the opportunities for the correct rocks. Again, we're looking for these Silurian 420 million year old granites to have intruded, brought in tin with them, which is the kind of granites you want, and then associated LCT pegmatites. Then we started looking on the ground and looking at the mines department record to see, okay, who owns the ground now that we've ascertained this is really the package we'd like. And certainly surprised to see that only about 10% of the ground we wanted had ever been pegged. Again, simply no one had looked. and so we've pegged the lot. So it's the largest peg in New South Wales history. I've spent a lot of time talking with the department to give them comfort that Nexus Minerals is a credible company, an exploration company, that we will come and do the work, and they've been fantastic. From application to grant was less than 3 months, and we can get on the ground ASAP. So it's been astounding.
And where to from here? What's the plan, particularly on that project and that project area?
Yeah, so with such a large area, we'll be looking to reprocess the aeromagnetics first, and that'll give us the contacts of these Silurian granite intrusions. And the LCT pegmatites sit 3 to 6 kilometres from the contact. So it really is, compared to how I feel like difficult porphyry coppers and how difficult gold exploration can be, it's actually quite simple to sort of go, let's find the contact, work in the 3 to 6 kilometre zone and see what we can see. So the advancement in technology, particularly in the portable XRF gun technology, they've now got this modern setting. I mean, there's always been a problem that you couldn't determine. It's had such a low number, elemental number of 4, you couldn't determine it with a gun. But now these portable XRFs have a particular setting, which is a strontium-rubidium relationship setting, which all LCT pegmatites have that relationship with them, and you literally every 50 metres zap the ground, and we'll be crisscrossing New South Wales in all of the roads using the road reserves, and simply build up a picture of where are our contacts. Luckily roughly north-south is the rocks, stroke east-west is the roads, very, very easy and a good infrastructure, and hit it with the XRF gun. So from a cost perspective, it's low. It's also very open. I'm not saying poor quality, but it isn't vineyards and national parks. It's privately owned land, large land holdings, probably 10, 20,000 acre properties, dry land, wheat, barley, sorghum sort of farmland. So we don't expect, we've had a very positive response to actually applying for and getting the grants, and so far on the ground we're getting nothing but positive feedback and being welcomed into wherever we've been. So it's been good.
A big project leads to big opportunities. It could be exciting times ahead with much news flow to come. A company sure to watch, Nexus. Andy, thanks for your time.
Thank you.